Don't you think we could be different if we could just take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows, feel the wind rushing through, hear the music, take the groove. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high, you and I, pinnacle climactic vibe. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the 9 to 5, I just wanna feel alive. Take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend you're shy. Take it slow, let it go. Let's take a trip to uptown. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow. I'm chasing the afterglow. Dance with me, wild as me. Finally got some clarity. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high. You and I, pinnacle climactic vibe. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. You don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the world outside. Turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go. Roll down all the windows. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. You don't have to pretend you're shy. Take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go. Let it go. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow. I'm chasing the afterglow. Dance with me, wild as me. Finally got some clarity. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high. You and I, pinnacle climactic vibe. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. You don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the world outside. Turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go. Roll down all the windows. Take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go.
Welcome to the LXC.
Your lights flash glow in the virtual battlefield.
Oh, looking for the knockups. Knockup on the Viego at half health. Orn getting stunned up in the crowd of Angie on 5, and it's just a slaughter. Could be dangerous on the side of blue. Orn and Braum going in, connecting with 2, stalling. Sentinel connecting to 4. Twitch just blown up. Ari, quarter health. On Sentinel winning the W, winning the E. Luxol connecting on 2. Aatrox, 1 health, burning down from Zach in the middle of 5 in total. Shenel coming in, trying to save the Seraphine, and does. Ari looking to make a hero play, taking out the Kog'Maw, landing the charm on the Shen, dashing away from the Sentinel. One shot, Shenel coming through.
Good,
getting
they
Shen out of
the
it.
Shenel.
Milio getting hit by the Seraphine, and also it's Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw getting stunned up, getting hit by the Q. Zach Q is huge, landing on the Shen,
Oh my God.
and just like that, Angie
Burning the game.
Amateurs to pros in the heat of competition.
Alrighty, welcome to week 3 of the Sentinel split of the LXC. I'm your play-by-play caster, Caden, here with little JFK. Here we got another exciting matchup for you. I apologize for my nasaliness and my quietness for today. I am still slightly sick, but I'll get through it. But today we are here with two teams, Braum Lives Matter, coming off of, I believe they are 3-2 at the moment, and NLE coming off of a bye week at 2-0. Exciting matchup. Two teams that kill a lot, play well, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean we got two teams. So they're the third and fourth seed. Coming into this week, we have some. They're fighting over that. NLE Valkyries could go all the way up to the second seed, and Braum Lives Matter could also go up to the second seed with this week's matchup. Um, Depending on how the week's games go.
Jump right straight in the draft.
Sounds good. Just a reminder to all the players before the draft completely starts that all the leaderboards are updated and it's looking at players who have played 3 or more games after week 3.
Um, and we're seeing a Fiddlesticks Shaco ban coming from the side of Braum Lives Matter and a Rumble Cannon ban. A reminder to everybody, I'm pretty sure Aurora is enabled since it is week 3. So we could see an Aurora pick. So pretty excited to hopefully see that. We're seeing a first pick Leona, very strong central pick. Very few champions can come into counter. Let's see if NLE has an answer to that. Maybe a Renata or maybe some type of long range artillery mage. We'll see.
Just like you were saying with the Talia pick, really strong, solid pick, keep the Leona off in the engages. Speaking of the Leona pick though, that is a very popular pick in the league that I'm playing in Arbiter. That is the most banned champion, I believe.
I don't doubt it. Leona is a very oppressive pick, and we're seeing from the R2 coming from the Jinx. Jinx being a very strong scaling ADC, I would say. She gets ahead early, the game gets taken over pretty simply. And if she can get to those 3-4 item power spike, she can just take over a game. There's really not much you can do about it. And we're seeing the mid ADC pick and the support jungle pick coming from the Suns. Braum Lives Matter. We've seen the J4. J4 very easy access into the back line. A great pick to be able to lock down that Jinx, almost a surefire guarantee hit for a Leona ult, and a lot of shutdown coming around the side of Braum Lives Matter. I just smacked my microphone. Let me see the Ari come out.
We see Ari come out, and speaking of Ari, we saw the $500 Ari skin get played recently in LXC, so we're big balling up here.
Big ballin', big ballin'. Believe it was the mid laner from Angie on their side of things.
Yeah,
Um,
we did get to see that, and you know, we're seeing Jinx come out. I swear, in solo queue, I see Jinx like every third game.
mhm. Jinx being probably one of the best 80 carries on the patch, or had been one of the best 80 carries on the patch for fucking God knows how long. Couple answers to her every now and then. You can see Kai'Sa, you see the Aphelios picked. Usually they'll go hand in hand. And we're seeing a Poppy come in from the side of NLE. Very good flex pick. Could see it in the support, could see it in the jungle, could see it in the top lane. You won't know really until draft finishes up and until you really can have an answer to the Poppy. So it's a hard pick to actually try to pick around. Just hope you don't have many dashes left.
Love the Poppy pick into Ari, Jarvan, Leona. So many dashes, so many ways to try and engage, and Poppy just able to shut it all down.
Oh, exactly. Poppy, a very popular pick in pro play because, especially in the sport, the ability to stop any engages from happening and the ability to just smack down a lot of CC with a lot of damage, despite being very low gold income. She's just able to just punish, punish, and punish. And we're seeing a Singed Mord ban from the side of NLE, as well as a Vi Amumu ban, opting to ban out the junglers and top lanes from these two teams.
hmm You know, I'm expecting from the red side. I want to see like a. I think we're going to be seeing probably like a disengaged support, maybe a Zyra brand, maybe a Xerath, some sort of mage poke. I could also see like maybe a Morgana angle um as well. And we're seeing the brand.
Brand, I mean, Brand is still one of the best champions in the game. Barely was touched last patch. 5 AP off of his base damage. His items are still super strong. Fairy Dust being the best low income item, and Misfortune coming out again. Another one of the better ADCs in the patch. Seen a lot of Misfortune, especially last week. And week one, Misfortune has been picked in quite a few games this season. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, she might be the highest picked ADC in the LEC right now. If
You know, we're watching Braum Lives Matter versus NLE Valkyries. But right now it looks like, with these first four picks from both sides, I feel like I'm watching, maybe like, T1 versus, a team from China. These drafts just look very, very like coordinated, very like pro play wise. And then
and
we completely
then you
ignore
see an
all of
Alawi,
that. And we see Alawi.
and Alawi just completely disregards anything you had to say about any draft looking any type of professional because it's Alawi. Uh, but Alawi, I believe, is a very weak champion on this patch right now. Still has her place in the meta. Don't get me wrong. Actually, I lied. Doesn't really have much place in the meta, but um, she has her tools, her uses. If played right, you can navigate pretty well between team fights and can solo win a lane. Truthfully,
I like the Alawi pick because, Jinx brand are trying to play back. Talia has her own disengage tools. So right now you're kind of just looking for a top laner where you're like, you want to completely dissuade their jungler from being able to gank. And with the Shen pick, who's someone who needs to, get into melee range in order to really do anything with the auto attacks, the ability for Shen to dodge, allow its E, um, and the ability for Jarvan to even be able to gank Alawi is going to be extremely difficult, especially post 6.
yeah. And I just got back word that Misfortune is the highest picked champion in the LXC at the moment, and that is not only just that's not only just in the ADC role. That's in general. So we're seeing a lot of Misfortune, a lot of this weird style of ADC where it's just run in, one shot somebody, and then run out. The
All these
assassin type plays.
all the all these LXC MFers are, loving MF, if you guys catch my drift.
Oh, I love when MF'd all over the place and said MF out. I hate watching MF. I'm gonna be honest. I think this champ's boring to watch, but she's unbelievably good at the moment.
Mhm.
So
I think both of these teams are just playing, lockdown central. I'm just going to CC you. I think the most interesting lane that we are going to be seeing is probably the jungle. Is like I'm wondering what the pathing is going to be like. Where, you know, what are the gank opportunities? How is Jarvan going to play around really safe laners? How is Poppy going to either dissuade Jarvan from ganking or be able to punish all of these dashes with Shen, E, Jarvan, EQ, Ari, ult, and Leona E?
yeah, I mean
But we're
Poppy's
seeing
gonna
Brand in
be
the jungle. It's actually not Poppy jungle.
yeah, so yeah, that again that's where this Poppy flex pick comes in. You don't know where he's gonna go, don't know if it's gonna be jungle, you don't know if it's gonna be top lane, you don't know if it's gonna be support. But Poppy is going to probably be the staple of this NLE comp. If the Poppy's piloted well, it can shut down genuinely this entire team of Braum Lives Matter. I mean, Shen's got a dash, J4's got a dash, Ari's got a dash.
And
And
Leona has the
Leona's
dash.
got a dash, a lot of engage that can just be completely stopped in order to just one click of a button, and it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I don't hate the Poppy support pick. I really do think it would have been better Poppy jungle brand support, but I don't know the dynamics of these teams. So maybe they were thinking, we like it better in the bot lane because we want to keep our Jinx safe. Maybe that's a little bit more showing of how their team is planning on playing. They're planning on playing through this bot side, trying to, make sure, Jink's going to get safe. We're going to scale into the late game. Brand's going to clear. I think Brand has an easier time ganking someone like Shen than Poppy did. So that opens up more opportunities for the gank possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, predictions up in the chat, so go ahead and spend your channel points, see what you guys have to say, and we'll see how the game plays out. We're going to go ahead and catch you guys after the break, and thank you for joining us.
Show me yours, I'll show you mine. You don't have to pretend to shy. Take it slow, let it go. Let's take a trip to uptown. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow. I'm just in the afterglow. Dance with me, wildly. Finally got some clarity. Don't you know? All I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high. You and I, pinnacle, quite magnified. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. You don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the word I got. Turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go. Roll down all the windows.
Let the flame ignite. They like to judge me before they get to know me. But while you're joking, I was getting me some money. Flying across the country, now they're flying for me. Broke a record back in Donny, that's a different story. Don't ask me if it's wrong or right. This is for the lies you've been leading all my life. And you better run and hide. I'ma let the flame ignite. Don't let me tell you twice, I'ma let the flame ignite. Let the flame ignite. They like to judge me before they get to know me. But while you're joking, I was getting me some money. Flying across the country, now they're flying for me. Broke a record back in Donny, that's a different story. Major damage, locked and loaded. They start to panic, but they're standing frozen. Ground is shaking,
All right, and here we are at the start of Braum Lives Matter versus NLE. What do we think of this game? What's
Yeah, I mean, this for this game, I mean, I think it's really just going to be we're playing uber safe, and Jarvan's just trying to get as many ganks off to try and get his game ahead. I think Brown Lives Matter is on a timer. I think if this game hits 30 minutes, I don't see a way in which that they can win the game unless something bad happens on the side of NLE Valkyries.
Mhm. I completely agree. I mean, as time goes on, this misfortune is going to get strong enough to one shot this Jinx away from a fight, but the rest of the team in general, that brand, the Talia, definitely champs that get a whole lot stronger with time goes on, as well as if Jinx is free hitting the entire team, then there's nothing you do about that either.
Yeah, especially with all the peel that the Poppy can provide. We're gonna see just Poppy just completely dominate. Um, like a lot of these team fights, whether they're able to overcome that or not is going to be the question. It looks like we're not going to see the patented level 2 Jarvan gank.
It looks like he's going for a full clear. Junglers this season, it seems like the jungler that can full clear the fastest and take advantage of those full clears are definitely rewarded more than those who gank early. And a safer lane is more appreciated for these junglers.
It looks like Brand might be setting up a 3 camp in the top lane. Alawi looking for early trades with her W as well.
Yeah, two grasp enjoyers in the top lane. Getting double grasp procs on the Shen. It's kind of huge. They're seeing the EQ coming up from the Ahri. Early trades coming in from all lanes. Large wave being piled up from the Alawi, looking to crash that, maybe get a cheater recall off. And I mean, pretty stable game so far. I know every time we say that, things go to shit.
Yeah,
Side step from the
you
Talia,
love
play W
jinxing
going to stun.
yourself.
I know. Um,
Speaking of jinxing yourself, we are seeing a pretty even CS gap between Jinx and MF. We're seeing a 15 and 15, and Alawi is just putting that pressure on the Shen right now, breaking the E as well. So,
Ahri falling low on health, Talia falling low on mana. Trading health for mana, not usually too bad, except when a gank happens. But Ahri being a pretty safe mid lane pick doesn't really shouldn't have too much to worry. Even it being a brand, brand's got to hit things in order for Ahri to die.
way too early predictions. Who do you think's first blood is going to? I am gonna guess it's going to Shen right now.
You might just be right. Damage coming out from the flash coming out, looking to maybe get some health. Look to find that Shen before, and a simple Q will do it. J4 taking first blood. Ahri health ticking away as Biscuit comes out. The brand W, the flash over misses, and Ahri makes it out. Flash gone. A lot of attempts going on here. I mean, Talia having to take her back very soon. No mana, low health. Ahri taking her back, just coming back to wave. Grabbing themselves that tome and the boots, TPing right back in. Shen having to take that back with a quite a large wave he has to actually back on now, which is kind of rough for him. Probably looking to TP back. And
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're already seeing a 13 CS gap in the top lane, and we're seeing, the TP. Alawi placed a control ward to kind of try and prevent further Jarvan ganks, but I don't know if they would have to worry about it considering they're going to be 6 here very soon.
a taunt under turret gets 3 tower shots, 4, and Shen. I mean, you got to be careful when crashing your wave. Shen taunt hits, and you're just gonna get hit with a bunch of turret shots, and that's a kill over Shen.
Yeah,
Lowy falling down 0-2.
absolutely. Very, very interesting play from the Alawi. Going for the turret plates there when Shen can absolutely just taunt you under turret. It might just be a long time since since they've had to lane against the Shen,
Trade's going
and
in the
so
mid
they
lane, already
completely
dropping the half
forgot
health.
about what they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird champs like that. I mean, Alawi's the same way. I don't face Alawi very often, but when you do, catches you a little off guard.
This Talia and Ari matchup is kind of like a boxing fight almost. Like they're not really going for like knockout punches. It's like the first round of a boxing match where it's like I'm gonna poke you and I'm gonna hit you, jab here, jab there, and we're just seeing their mana and their health dwindle down as they just trade back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Hey, teams are stationing for grubs. Maybe the bot lane can look for an opportunity here. Leona can get a she hits the stun going out, taking away. That flash coming out from Jinx. Quarter health left. Maybe could look for a dive here.
Jarvan is rotating down to the bot side, so we could see a play opportunity looking for the dive on Jinx. Shen should have ulti as well.
Jarvan, they're looking to get this wave crashing as much as possible. Not a lot of wave clear coming from the side of Braum Lives Matter, but Poppy's making her way over. Can she get there in time? E lands, Q, and turret shots coming in. One more. And a collapse comes from NLE. The abilities hit, stuns, E's, W's, Q's, and just like that, Braum Lives Matter on a dive opportunity just falls completely. You see a kill going to Jinx, Poppy, and Talia.
We see the 2-0 advantage, all the way up to a 3-0 advantage fall completely behind because of the rotations from NLE Choppa, from NLE, NLE Valkyrie. But we see the rotations, really helping them out. Having a mid laner such as Talia who can use her ultimate to go anywhere on the map from the mid lane,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really paying out for them. Right now they're just clearing some vision. We're seeing some vampire survivor. I mean, tentacle survivor. From Shen.
Shen probably thought he queued up for Swarm for a second there. He got really confused.
He really did.
Maybe look for the taunt.
Alawi is just
Keeping her space.
I don't think Alawi has left Shen's under his turret since 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah.
She has been aggressively trading, aggressively forcing her way forward. Alawi is also eating these turret shots like they were my frosted flakes this morning.
Yeah, I mean, when your character has that much sustain, the stun's coming out on a misfortune. The W misses completely. The EQR onto the Leona. Q goes off into the opposite direction. Misfortune looks like she's going to fall to the Jinx. Looks to get her ult off. Jinx getting excited. Leona just walking out of things. And the ult comes out from the Jarvan to take out the Alawi. And it's just trades all around. Misfortune for Alawi.
Yeah, with this Alawi being as pushed up as she is, it's going to happen where they're going to see a lot of jungle pressure just because of how much they are trying to force their advantage. But with forcing the advantage, they are kind of following Bowson law of keeping tempo, forcing the game forward. Because I mean, if you look at the CS lead top lane, I mean, Alawi is is up about 30 CS and has taken multiple tower plates, just keeping this pressure, keeping things moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, tempo is the name of League of Legends at this point. Team that can navigate around the map quicker, especially with this Talia ult, can join team fights as simple as a snap of the finger, as simple as a click of the R, and can turn things completely around. I mean, we're seeing another J4 gank from into the top lane. Alawi looking to have overstepped once more. Flash on cooldown, not looking to find it, looking to find an R. Connects with her ER, getting the healing back, getting a lot of damage and stopping the gank. Leona making her way up, looking to try to hit the E. Leona gets a stun off, hits the E, the root comes out, the knockup from the Jarvan comes out, and it's simple as that. Poppy's rotating up into 3 people. Maybe, hopefully, to find the Jarvan. The Talia ult comes out with the stun onto the Shen. Take it, the QR. The root's coming in, and burn, explosion, and poof goes Braum Lives Matter, and as simple as that. Again, this is like we were saying, the rotations from the side of NLE just are so much quicker and so much easier to take that if this Alawi can waste as much time as she possibly can, then there's a good chance that NLE is able to join the fight and clean up right afterwards.
Absolutely. And I mean, with Alawi, she was able to pick up 2 more assists there. Shen is still not able to get more CS. Alawi is still keeping the tempo up on their tower. I mean, we're not, able to see it right now because of the directed camera, but I mean, that first turret is going to fall at 11 minutes.
Alawi, bone plating Alawi is just, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You die in lane, the tower falls. You think back about it, those taunts on the turret to get the turret plates seem to have worked out. Again, Bowson's Law at full extent here.
We see the Alawi 0-4 and 2, and Shen 1-1 and 2. You would think you're looking at the KDA and you're like,
Knockup hit the
Alawi's
ult.
hinting, but
Charm connects
Alawi's
onto
up.
the Talia, and looks like the Talia's about to fall. One more Q, and just like that, Talia falls. Slight overstep there. But sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's absolutely no problem. Fight breaks out. It's your time. But we're seeing, as I was saying, the Alawi is up, 1,500 gold. Even though if you look at the KDAs, you would be skeptical of the Alawi's gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, you usually see an 0-4 in your solo queuing, and all of a sudden your 20 words per minute turns to 120. But I mean, it's almost like Yasuo last game. But it seems to work out well. The E connects to the Jinx, the Q landing as well for the extended stun, but nothing coming from the fruition of that for too much. And I mean, small amount of punching around.
So, how do you think that Braum Lives Matter should try and shut down this the rotations from NLE Valkyries?
You're gonna have to sort of just force everywhere around the map. The ult comes out from the Poppy. The charm lands onto the Poppy. Poppy dwindling away. Flash is coming out. Brand falls as well. Almost said Braum. Flash coming out from the Jinx to avoid the charm, and this is the exact way to do so. Head straight, head first strong everywhere else on the map, and try to beat them in a just classic team fight instead of waiting for them to come to you. You go to them.
Absolutely, but the Alawi's still getting a ton of pressure up in the top line. Baus FFS would be very proud of this Alawi's gameplay right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. The cameras are jumping over everywhere, but we saw gank from the mid lane, and we're seeing quite a heavy trade coming out from the top lane. The WE connects on Ari, half health, missing all of her abilities. The Poppy connecting with the Brand W against the wall, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's like a Disney rom-com. You just get pressed against the wall, and then all of a sudden you fell for the person you're in front of. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. We're starting to see the game slow down a little bit with them kind of clearing the mid lane and everyone trying to get their resets. I think we're going to see Brand and Poppy take this Rift Herald. I don't think we'll see any contention from that. We see about a 3K gold lead on the side of NLE Valkyries, which is really rough for them considering the fact that we were saying how this game is on a timer. And seeing the team that is looking to scale be ahead by so much gold this early, you know, it really brings into question, you know, what are you supposed to do? I know from my experience of being a shot caller for my team, um I try to play around
Oh, as out
either
the
going for
XDR comes out from the Alawi. The exhaust coming out. Hopefully, not a lot of damage on the side of Leona. Leona being taken already, and exhaust being a broken spell. Nothing comes out of it. The turret falls. Two people at low health against an Alawi is pretty dangerous. The Misfortune R is enough to tick down the Alawi, and the Jinx are smacking right into the face of the Misfortune. That is a 1-for-0 trade on the side of Braum Lives Matter.
Yeah, with Alawi dying again, we're seeing since they got the assist that their gold has been reset. But with that death comes a second turret. And I mean, right now we're seeing, a turret go down every 7.5 minutes from Alawi if we go off the average of the game time. But if we go off the average of actual being able to take turrets in this
QE
game,
coming out. The charm landing on the Talia. Talia falling down, not be able to figure out what to do. Can't seem to hit the shots. A trade for a 1-for-1, and Ari and Jarvan able to take out this Talia once more. Talia falling 1 and 2, and this is 2 deaths to this gang, same gang style.
yeah, I
What like you
mean,
were saying with the Alawi, I mean, the Alawi dies, but it's coming at a cost.
yeah. At the end of the day, I think we're going to eventually see that they are going to have to play around the Salawi. And I'm not talking about the side of NLE. I'm talking about the side of Brown Lives Matter having to send multiple people to match. And I think we're about to see it right here with Jarvan coming up,
Khan
looking to
comes in,
maybe.
Shen blocking the auto attack, missing the EQ, getting the auto attacks for his W, hitting the shield, the charm coming out, connecting onto the Alawi, and J4 getting another kill. And we see on the other side of the map, NLE dropping Herald, looking to claim bot lane tier 1 and maybe push it even further. Again, the Alawi death comes at a cost, whether if it's Alawi claiming it or NLE claiming it. We're seeing the TP come in, and you lose 1.5 towers for an Alawi death up topside. NLE playing the map perfectably,
Not to
perfectly.
mention that, we saw a TP come out of Ari, and that could be costly considering Baron's going to be up in 2.5 minutes. Ari's not going to have it up. You know, um, you could always play. We're seeing both teams play around vision. Trying to keep the vision up for objectives. Not having your summoners so that you can cross map or keep this side of the game open. You know, Alawi's either going to get a ton of pressure up in the top lane and just completely bully the side lane, or you're giving up an objective. You have to make these choices early, and I think even though their KDA may not show it, I think Alawi is really you know deal with me or lose the game. But
Stun comes out on the Jarvan. A lot of ults, a lot of abilities, and Jarvan, one shot. Nothing he could absolutely do about that, and this is looking like a free drag on the side of NLE.
yeah, absolutely, like I was saying, is the um, in this specific instance, we're not going to see a ton of pressure come from the Alawi, because of the fact that they got the pick beforehand, but their entire team is just going up there to match the Alawi.
Land Charm hits, ult's coming out, stuns are coming out, and there's nothing the Alawi can do. Just getting stunned up and thrown right back down, and Braum Lives Matter looking to make an equalizer for losing the dragon, the J4, and finding that equalizer.
This is
Teleport's
the
coming in
first
for Shen.
mistake I think I've seen from the Alawi so far. I think they have played a very phenomenal game so far, but I think as soon as you get that pick, you're like, we no longer need the pressure. We don't need to be pushed up. You know, we can come back. We can go back to our turret, reset. Use your gold that you have at the moment, and just concede pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to um, whether you think it's this is the game plan from the Alawi or if it's just Alawi's only goal just to continue to push and push and push. We'll see how it goes the rest of the game.
I think I think we're going to see a little bit of a fall off of the Alawi now that you know that both second turrets and both side lanes are down. But at that point, you know, Baron's coming up and they are missing 4 turrets in the side lanes. So, we're gonna see her fall off for a little bit, but I mean, she's already done her job at this point.
I mean, ultimately at this point, it really comes down to if Shen needs to join a fight to try to win it, then Alawi takes the base. Shen can't leave this lane, and this game is stuck on a permo. The ult comes out from the Jarvan, landing into the Zion is hopefully to time this QR. She gets charmed up. Brand taking out the Ari and Talia living much longer than she needed to. The stun getting hit onto the Misfortune. Misfortune ult getting ticked down. Jinx autoing Leona hoping to get excited, and that looks like it's going to be a Baron on the side of NLE.
It's really, really becoming a massive issue that Shen cannot be in these fights. And the the ability to pressure the sideline is just forcing this issue of Shen can't be there. Shen needs to clear waves, but how is Shen supposed to go into Alawi?
And now that Alawi has Baron, I mean, there's nothing more the Shen can do other than sit and hope that they can clear the waves faster than Alawi can.
I think at this point for Braum's Lives Matter, what they need to do is they need to send Ari, actually, because I think Ari has the wave clear and the ability to match the Alawi better because of the fact that she can stay at a range, she can force these objectives, and we're seeing the game has gone into loading screen for me.
Oh, well, there goes my caster. It looks like it's just me to do the job. But as that happens, Jarvan seems to get caught out. The Q landing onto the Poppy, but getting shut down. Leona eating in, Jinx free hitting onto getting a double, and it is a complete wipe other than for the Shen. And there is nothing that Braum Lives Matter can do at this point. I mean, Talia hitting a crucial EW to take out the Jarvan, get him stuck, and as Jarvan went to try to go across the wall, Poppy popping her E and just getting lost. And as the base continues to fall, Alawi pushing the top side, NLE, the rest of the team pushing the mid side, it might look to see an end here. We have a wave coming in from them.
Yeah, so shout out to our production member, Soulkeeper, for getting me a stream for the game. We love our production around here, but I think with the Baron buffs on the red side, and the being able to win that team fight, we are going to be seeing that they're going to force both inhibs down. They are forcing blue side to keep on their base, and they're just winning every objective fight because they're forcing these 4v4s.
I mean, with the lead going up now, 10K gold lead on the side of NLE, not looking to really find a way and see how Brown Lives Matter can come back. With the pressure coming from the Alawi, I mean, now you have to worry. Your base is open, your Nexus turrets are there. You leave the Alawi to do the things she does, then all of a sudden, your game's over. But then on the other side of things, you go and send everybody to Alawi, then you lose objectives, and then the game's over. At this point, it seems like it's checkmate on the side of Brown Lives Matter. NLE's just pushing their final pieces towards the king, and there's nothing they can do about it. Again, we see it right here. Objectives falls, and the whole team gravitates all the way towards this Alawi. Hopefully, they can find a way to get this Baron buff out of here. But Alawi getting stunned up, rooted up, charmed, and the Alawi comes out. Let's see if he can turn it into anything. A lot of healing coming out, but constant CC. Alawi can't take out 4 members of the team alone. But yeah, that is second Mountain Drake on the side of NLE, and they're looking to push this bottom turret.
Yeah, I mean, forcing these 4v4s and getting all these ults and forcing all these members will just create automatic pressure into the other lanes. With this pressure, they're able to push lanes, get minions to their inhib. Alawi has completely overdone their job in just being able to get to the you know
Rocket sent off into hopefully game two. Don't know where that went. EQ from the Jarvan, flash coming out from the Jinx, stunned hits up on the Leona, the ult hitting 3 people from the Misfortune, Brand getting caught out by the Ari. And on the side of NLE, it looks so good for Braum Lives Matter, but again, NLE just have the income, have the tools just to take the comp that they wanted to scale with and just turn it into a 25-minute game.
yeah, Braum
Ari
Lives
getting canceled
Matter.
once more, and that's a solo kill for Poppy.
Braum
Shen
Lives
getting chased out. That's an ace.
Prom Lives Matter is just, you know, feeling a world of pain of having a very strong split pusher and not being able to match them. So the force of a 4v4.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you really have. It's just that's what it was. I mean, you sent everybody to Alawi, you lost everything on the other side of the map, or you sent everybody to the other side of the map, you lost everything to Alawi. It's the amount of pressure that Alawi was able to soak up that game, despite what 0-6 or something like that, was astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, Alawi might, be removed from the leaderboard, after going 0-8, you know, but they were a massive influence on their team being able to win this game. And I would rather win games than be on a leaderboard. As much as the leaderboard is nice. Shout out to Fish for keeping that up to date.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My name on a leaderboard is pretty nice, but a dub is even nicer. And I mean, brings a very statement game from the side of NLE, and it looks like my streak for 2 O's is going to keep up. MVP of that game. What do you got?
Uh, Give me a Lowy.
Wow.
That was dominant performance. I love seeing top laners being able to dominate and being able to dominate in such a fashion that is completely different from the norm of going, oh, we're looking at the tab and it's like, okay, someone's 15-2, did 70,000 damage. You know, you you're like, that person's obvious MVP. But when you're looking at this game, if you didn't watch it, like we were able to watch it and see the gameplay, you know, you know, you would be like, oh man, that Alawi inted and was carried by the team. But I think Alawi absolutely was able to completely control and dominate the ability to for their team to be able to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Lowry ran through everything. May have died 8 times, didn't get any kills for it, but the amount of gold that she piled up, not only for her team, but for herself. I mean, each tower, tier 2 towers, 2 kills. She got 2 tier 2 towers. She got tier 1s. She got fucking Nexus towers. Um, and as it goes on, and Allow is just able to run a game over and over again. Excuse me for my lack of attention span because I can't seem to remember to join a tournament. Tournament, man, I can't speak. This is what happens when you be sick. Tournament.
No, I like that. Tournament. We're gonna go with tournament because we're
Tournament.
crying while we're watching. No, just kidding.
How I feel every time I see an Alawi in my game. But funny enough, coming from looking at draft and looking how it was going to play, as soon as we saw the Alawi pick, we just instantly went straight into, that's not a great idea. That's not going to really work out. But it worked. The same thing happened with Shen from last week. I did the same thing. I went, oh, Shen's not going to be a good pick here. Why did they pick Shen? And all of a sudden, Shen did super well. So obviously, I don't know my draft. And we are back to pro draft because Draftful is a
Bad app.
Infuriating application.
We do not like draft law right now. It's usually great, but they have not been doing their best.
But what does Brown Lives Matter have to do to change in order to find themselves even come close to a game?
I think you need to pick a champ that can match top line better. I think we saw from game one that Alawi was a very dominant and willing to, split push champion. I think you need to, match that energy, or you need to be able to counterpick that energy. What I mean by that is, with when you're picking Alawi, you want to pick someone who can match the energy, like give a Darius, someone who can really benefit from such an early you know kill lead and be able to influence the map more, or you need to you know counterpick it with like a Mordekaiser or a Yorick, someone who can just play from afar, get some CS, and you know just throw ease and eventually be able to match Alawi in that split pushing, or Mordekaiser, who, Alawi presses ult, Mordekaiser presses ult, and Alawi just dies.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to have an answer to a split pusher like that. I mean, Scion's the same way. Alawi, Scion, Trundle, these champions that you don't see in high elo too much because there's answers for them. When you don't have an answer for them, you sort of get stuck in this loop of, all right, this is what you're sort of playing into the hands of the puppeteer. NLE navigating pieces around the map, whether the players knew it or not, that's what was happening.
Mhm. Yeah, I would.
Now. Pro draft, yay. But let's see what thing we I don't can't speak. NLE don't think they're going to be looking to change any bands up. Braum may try to slot in a couple bands.
I do like a couple of the changes from the Brown Lives Matter team. Getting rid of the Talia was a major problem. Being able to rotate like that, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw NLE play like a Twisted Fate, something that can do something similar. um, so that they can, continue that kind of pressure of being able to rotate bot lane or top lane in an instant.
Yeah, I mean, Zeri first pick coming from the side of NLE. Champ that's very good if piloted correctly, but also has its counters to it. We also see the Leona ban coming out from the side of Brown Lives, opting not to take it and hopes to stop NLE from taking it, and a Warwick first pick from Braum. Now, I have done this twice now where I have looked at a pick and been like, that's not the greatest. I'm not going to do this time around because I know if I say that, Warwick's going to go 12-0.
So Warwick is actually Nyla.
Warwick is Nyla. Okay.
We're seeing from the chat. A lot of people always wait to the last second because draft wall is kind of similar to League, where they give you a few extra seconds at zero. Pro draft is not like that. For the teams that are doing it when we're here for pro draft, um, when it hits zero, it will auto pick something for you the second it hits zero. So make sure you guys are talking about it. Maybe we should consider maybe increasing the time limit for pro draft. Maybe we could do it to where it's 45 seconds instead of 30 seconds. Something
You
we could
never know.
consider for the future.
But see the Renata Zyra coming out. Looks like we're gonna get a Zyra jungle out of this game. I'm hoping for a I want to see an Aurora. I mean, I want to see this champ be played. I want to see how these champions are being used, or how people are attempting to play them. But we're also going to see Kazakh's jungle come out from the side of Braum. And from there, we Zyra versus Kazakhs. Kazakhs being able to rain terror depending on if he can get ahead or not. If he can't, then he's not going to be the most useful person in the world. Zyra, on the other end of that spectrum, doesn't really need to get ahead to be useful. Zyra still being one of the best jungle picks on the patch. I personally believe Morgana is better, but Zyra is great too. You see the Akali band coming out from the side of Brahms and Singe coming out from the side of NLE. And Kiana finishing up Brahms bands.
I love how that Braum Lives Matter is banning a ton of mobility champions, and we see from NLE they're banning a lot of AOE and AP like strong AP picks minus the Samira, of course. But seeing like these strong AOE bans from the side of NLE, and we're seeing the mobility from Braum Lives Matter. So we're kind of seeing not only the strengths of these teams, but we're seeing the weaknesses also. NLE saying we don't want to deal with massive AOE magic damage, and Braum Lives Matter saying we might not be the most competent skill shot users, so we are going to ban mobility champions.
That is definitely a way to say that sentence. But we see the Anivia getting picked up, comfort pick on the side of Ron Lives Matters mid laner. And we're seeing an Ezreal. No, okay, so I was looking at the OPs before this game. This Zeri is going mid.
Okay.
This Ezreal is going bot lane.
Okay.
And he has quite a high win rate and quite a high KDA on Zeri mid lane. So this is also something that pro players from the East are picking in solo queues. So I'm quite excited to see how this is played out. And Ornn rounding off the draft.
I do like the Ornn pick. I think they were lacking a big frontline CC carry. But I am a little sad that we aren't going to see a dominant Alawi performance again.
Yeah, and Braum Lives opting into the Shen. I mean, when you get 4 banned, what else can you pick? It's hard to really find your way into a game when you're banned so much, but hopefully comfort on the side of Braum Lives, and NLE opting into
Yeah,
a smorgasbord of comp that I'm actually quite excited to see because I haven't seen a Zeri mid lane. Definitely exciting. It could be Ezreal, but I'm hoping it's a Zeri. Ornn top's always fun to watch. Renata, Ezreal. Renata's broken. Ezreal is Ezreal, and Zyra's broken as well. So NLE going on the side of A to S tier picks, while Brahms on the side of wacky inflatable blue people. It's
yeah,
the blue man
absolutely.
group.
I think NLE has very safe and solid picks. I think that Brown Lives Matter has picked very close to solo queue comp as you could get. But with that being said, I think if any of these champions get ahead, they are extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I mean,
It looks like we're going straight into the game. Oh, any way too early picks or things you want to shout out or things that you are excited to see?
the Zeri better be going mid lane. That's all. I'm sort of expecting another 2-0 from the side of NLE. From the look of the first game, it looks like it might come off as what's it called? We might see another hard stomp like we did, but I'm hoping Braum Lives Matter end up changing that. I would like to see a close game, but every bone in my body is sort of stating that NLE is a better comp here, and NLE is going to be able to, run through this game as easy as anything.
With seeing the I think this will be a chaotic game. And I think I mean that in the best of way because those are the most fun games to watch, especially for the people who are here on stream. Seeing like unorthodox picks in such a distinct manner. Um, you know, Seeing all of these is just It's going to make for very interesting and fun place to watch.
We are going to see the Ezreal make its way into the mid lane, and not the Zeri, sadly. But Ezreal, another exciting pick in the mid lane. Zeri, another exciting pick in the. Apologize. In the bot lane.
He's yawning
And
because he was wrong.
yeah, I know. But again, Ezreal is able to keep his range. I've got a lot of brain fog going on. He's able to keep his range away from Namibia pretty easily because of Ezreal being the champ that he is. Able to get in and over the wall the Namibia might put in, get away from the stun with the buffer on the E, not get caught out in the ultimate. Kha'Zix's going to have a hard time catching up to the Ezreal with that E. All around, pretty safe picks on the side of NLE. Zeri, Ezreal able to get away. Ornn with an unstoppable. Zyra with every stun and slow known to man.
I do think that with how ranged that the side of NLE, I think Kha'Zix, Shen, and Nyla are all going to struggle with physically getting on top of that comp. But with that being said, if they are able to get on top of that comp, other than Ornn, every single person on that team is extremely squishy.
Yeah. But game time. What do you think? What are we thinking?
Uh, I I think that I think we're seeing NLE come out with a 2-0. I think you were right with the continuation of the 2-0 streak. Um, but I think that Braum Lives Matter can turn this game around, especially if someone gets a little overconfident with their positioning on the side of NLE Valkyries. But you know, of course, it's the Plat Emerald League. Anything can happen. We can and we could see some very interesting gameplay, like we saw an '08 Alawi win MVP.
Yeah, that's very true. And I guess we'll find out. Predictions should be hitting chat soon for you guys who feel like being gambling people. And we'll see you after the break. Thank you for joining us.
In the morning, you felt so safe back then. Be honest, you live in your own whose company we're limited. In the end, we lay in the end. I seen the end before the beginning, but I began anyway. I began. 'Cause all it took was a love, and for you to say the quiet down is compromising me now. Is compromising me now. 'Cause I want everything now. Because I want everything now. But the quieting down is compulsory now.
And welcome back to game number 2. We're here with NLE versus Braum Lives Matter game 2, and we are very excited to see the game. It looks like we're going to see 5 points from both sides. We're seeing a little bit more pressure on the top side, a little bit of vision in the top red corner. Caden, glad you could join us.
Yeah,
Back again.
yeah, I'm alive.
So with these lane matchups, um, I know you were excited for the Zeri mid possibility, but what do you think about the Ezreal mid instead?
Um, Contrary to most belief, before I became a Yone one trick, I was an Anivia one trick. This Ezreal pick should be able to run an absolute train through the Anivia. There, under no circumstances should this Anivia be able to stun the Ezreal or get any sustainable damage off, whereas the Ezreal just will be able to outkite this Anivia 20 times out of 20.
Shen
Seen
is
a lot
just
of trading coming from the top lane.
Shen is just bullying this Ornn, keeping him away from the wave. A lot of forced trades. I think we're gonna have to see a reset come from this Ornn, or we're gonna see a first blood going over to the Shen. Speaking of aggression, we're seeing aggression from the bot lane as well.
Level 1 coming out, trading damage, half out to the AD carry for half out to the support. All in all, I mean, good trade from the side of NLE.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, if the Shen's gonna, try to continue to force that advantage he created at level 1, or if he's, okay with the amount of HP he was able to get from the beginning.
I mean, now that this Ornn has access to his abilities, a lot more sustained damage from the side of Ornn. Shen able to stop a lot of auto attacks and get those free grass procs, whereas this Ornn is just going to be able to continually get his grasps as well as his hammer slams. I mean, it's just going to be a lot of damage coming out from both sides. It's just hitting into a brick wall. We're seeing the Ezreal trying to walk into range to get rid of the passive. The stun misses onto the Kha'Zix. The Anivia is moving to the fight in the mid lane. We're seeing a lot of fighting in the bot lane too. The Alistar stun hitting. The flash is coming out. The ignite onto Nyla. Nyla getting first blood. And Zeri completely healthy, but Renata being bursted down. And Nyla looking pretty healthy too, just low on mana.
Yeah.
First blood, Braum lives.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the first game, we were predicting how they were going to play safe, and this game is kind of no different in how we were talking about how this game is going to be aggressive, and aggression from the side of Brown Lives Matter. You know, the Nyla getting the first blood is like extremely good for them, and getting a gold lead on to such a low range ADC is very important, especially in the early game. We see it a lot from Samira as well.
Yeah, I mean, this bot lane from Braum Lives, Nyla, Alistar is always going to be a level ahead because of Nyla's passive. So they're going to try to abuse that as much as possible, use that level lead, and extend their winning trades. Ezreal eing in, again coming out from the Zyra being sidestepped, but Anivia's getting popped into her egg. Going to be able to finish off this egg just perfectly fine. Renata trying to answer. The minions trying to block as much as they can. And a kill that should have went over to Ezreal because the minions were blocking the Ezreal Qs goes over to the Zyra.
I don't think that's too unfortunate, because the Zyra ult is going to be massive in the later team fights because of how the melee. So being able to get a little bit more gold, a little bit more damage over to her side isn't going to be too impactful. But this Renata dying because of the rotation might be very
Renata
impactful.
hitting the root, stun landing onto the Ezreal, not much happening. And we're seeing a lot of skirmishes around the map that doesn't seem to be taking fruition. Renata coming back to lane, about a third of her health. Maybe Braum Lives can look into finding a kill there. Knockup comes out onto the Shen, but again, it's just two brick walls hitting each other until something cracks. Nothing's gonna happen.
Absolutely. I would have sworn after seeing that level 1 trade that we were going to see a first blood come out of the top line, and we have yet to see anything. Ever since they're kind of just smacking each other.
Oh, as you say that,
We see the Ornn ulti come out. We saw a flash come from the Shen.
apparently Director Cam had no use for wanting to see that Ornal.
They just knew the Shen flash was coming.
Yeah. Teams looking top side of both teams looking to posture for grubs.
Yeah, we saw Ornn put a little bit of vision down and rotating down. Ezreal not able to get priority, but the Anivia is resetting. So with that reset, they should be able to get grubs with no
Alistar
contestation.
heading in, hitting the stuns. Nyla taking over to 6. The exhaust going off, landing her ultimate, and not being able to do too much afterwards. Bot lane being on half health. The stun lands onto both. The Nyla Q hitting both as well. The stun coming out from the Renata. And a lot of sustained damage coming out from the side of Braum Lives, but not able to take it a step further and secure the double kill like they wanted. But having to make NLE back and getting this wave shoved in is a lot of missed incoming XP. And this Nile is going to continue growing more and further ahead of his area that's already struggles to work in ways for in the early game.
Yeah, Zeri is just really trying to scale into the game, and especially with the with the recent nerfs and changes to a lot of Zeri's, items, we saw a really loss of power in the early game. Um, Especially with the rune changes that we're
Flash him out
going through.
the Zyra.
We saw Zyra flash as well. Um, Kazakh's playing very aggressively, trying to get vision and invade inside of their jungle. Renata being able to rotate is really, saving the Zyra right now, because I think that Kazakhs would have been able to look for the red buff on their side.
Kha'Zix looking at his opportunity, getting a little poke on the Renata. Renata finding herself below half health quite a lot this game. Probably probably 70% of the damage this game so far has been on the Renata. Sun lands on
Absolutely.
the Zeri. Nyla looking for an
And
angle. No vision. Can't do anything.
with Renata, with all these rotations, Renata's still not level 6 yet, which I think would be, really like poor for them to try and look for a dragon fight because of the lack of levels in the bot lane and the advantage that the Nyla has already.
Yeah. I mean, and with Zyra being topside, not necessarily being spotted out, this should be a free enough dragon for the Kazakhs. With Zyra going in, looking to invade and take Kazakhs' red side of the map.
I think that's a smart play. You're not going to be able to get it, so you want to trade. Shen missing his taunt just cost him a kill there. I'm almost certain that Ornn was dead if that taunt lands.
Ornn playing a lot of college football 25, able to spin move his way away from that taunt. I mean, Shen whiffing the tackle. I don't know.
Yep.
Ult's coming in from the side of the bot lane. Renata ticking down. One shot. Not looking to get to the assist. Kill going in the way of Nyla as Zeri goes across the wall to her turret and safety. And that's... Yeah. Kazakhs finding the Ezreal. Shen ult coming in. The taunt landing on the Ezreal. Ezreal ticking down. Maybe one more auto attack and goes to Kazakhs. That is 2 kills to none on the side of Braum. And we're seeing an Ornn ult come in. Hopefully trying to find one of the two. Nivea being here. Getting a little bit of poke damage. Not getting stunned up. Having to flash the Zyra R. And it is chaos in the mid lane. It's just fighting.
Constant rotations, I think the Shen pick is working out a little bit more now that, there's not that big threat in the top lane because you're not expecting an Ornn to, just go and split push ish and you keep the pressure in this game. So the Shen pick is going to have a little bit more or versatility in this game versus what we saw last game.
I mean, Shen rocking a 0% win rate in the Sentinels League right now. Let's see if he can make this his first win as a champion.
We're seeing a 3-1 kill lead, but we're seeing a 300 gold lead still go over to the side of NLE.
Kazakhs getting almost one shot by the Ezreal. NLE looking to claim all 6 grubs for themselves. And despite this 3-1 kill lead from the side of Braum Lives, they're still behind in gold. And NLE playing the map as map and micro as perfectly as you can. Ornn being up 20 CS like last game. Very little jungle being up 44 CS at this point in the game. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, I think the macro plays from the side of Zyra to be aware of the fact that they were going for Dragon and to be able to deny so much gold from the side of Kazakhs, and really messing up his clear, was it having a good impact on, when it comes to the gold difference and, top lane being able to create the pressure that, we saw last game that they were able to, that it's really just helping them in the long run.
Yeah.
I think we need to see I think we need to see a more aggressive style of Shen. Because right now we just, not being able to do this gold, sure you can be an R bot, but you're not really helping your team as much as you used to be able to.
Yeah, and I mean the double AD carry being the meta for the mid lane and the bot lane. It's a very strong set of picks, especially a lot of sustained damage to be found. Interesting. I don't know if you just saw that interaction on the top side, but apparently, when with the Shen do getting the obviously blocking the auto attack, doesn't take away the Ornn marker from the Ornn. And we see an ult coming out, flash out by the Alistar, the Renata ult connecting onto the Nyla, tickling the Alistar's kneecap.
Nivea TP getting forced out as well. I think that the
Kha'Zix behind everybody, hopefully looking to maybe see if somebody's gonna walk this way. So far, no one, but he's gonna sit in this bush for as long as possible. Ornn taking a note out of Shen's book, completely whiffing.
we're seeing the Kha'Zix come in and steal the red buff, and Anivia come in for the rotation. We're going to see a dead Zyra on the board.
And the Zyra finds herself overextended.
Shen ult coming down as well.
Dead as well. Zeri being targeted. The jump lands on. Barrier gets popped. Another Q lands. Maybe looking for one more Q. The flash comes out. Zeri just living on 1 health. Absorb life coming out. And saving. Ooh, Kha'Zix. Overextending to try to take out a Zeri. It is a tower for the bot lane, but for the life of the Kha'Zix, who's already down so much income.
I think the Kha'Zix just was feeling the pressure, pressing tab, seeing the CS difference, seeing the gold difference, and saying, I need to make a play. I need to get, I need to do something to make up for what had happened. So they were just trying to play a little bit too aggressive, to where I think they would have been fine if they would have.
Or now coming out to mid, knocks up the Anivia going to half health. 4 members together to see who ends up getting the kill first. And it looks like it goes over to the side of Ornn. And easy enough like that. I mean, 2 ults take out Anivia. Tower slowly falling. Ornn taking a lot of damage from the tower. The flash coming out.
I don't think Ornn realized he was tanking turret
the fight,
there.
looking like he's going to secure the kill onto the. Oh,
what a great
ult comes out from the Renata as now the Zeri is just going to tear through the entire Braum Lives Matter. And that is a triple kill for Zeri. And just like that, any lead Nyla had over the Zeri is just gone.
Absolutely. What a huge play from the Renata. We've been seeing them get caught out a decent bit in this game, but the Renata ult was extremely, clutch. It was really needed for their team to be able to force that, like to force anything to get that mid turret. Really makes up for the Ornn misplay of realizing they were taking turret. And pretty soon we're going to be seeing the ornaments coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Renata recognizing that she was going to die anyway. Make a superhero play. Die like a martyr. And did exactly that. I mean, both teams looking to find themselves into Dragon Pit. Anivia losing half her health in one Ornn combo. Same thing with Ezreal losing. I don't know how he lost 3/4 of health, but he did.
I think he walked into the bush from when Kha'Zix was down there. We'll have to go back and take a look.
Harold being put in the mid lane.
Kha'Zix
able to get the assassinated. Abilities coming out. The knock him onto the Renata. The Zerial comes out. The Ornn will come out, knocking him 3. The Zyra bouncing them back up again. Nyla onto the. Oh god, something in my throat. As the auto attacks keep going. Nyla getting the kill onto the Zeri and Zyra. The last standing member of NLE.
We're seeing a 4-for-1 massive ult coming out from Nyla, being able to zone Zeri out of that fight. Zeri ult was starting to pop and really was chunking the members of their team. And, when you're getting that ability to chunk, that members of the team, you have to force something on them to get them out of the fight.
I'm
We
coming out
also
from
saw the lack of a Renata
lot of
ultimate.
damage. Yeah, that's right. The Renato not being used in that fight could be a very dangerous thing. A lot of a lot of upfront damage coming on the side of Braum's Lives Matter that can really turn a fight as simple as that. Nyla being able to 1v1 this area without an issue.
We're
The
still,
Ornn being separate
even with
from
all
the
the
fight.
with all these fights that have been happening this entire game, it's easy to lose track of the fact that we are only 18 minutes into this game. And, with us only being 18 minutes in the game, we're only at, 2.5 F items, even for, like, the most fed members of the team. And, and the reason why we got to point that out is because
Collapse. Ezreal trying to walk away. The stun being missed. The Ornn coming in with the TP taken out. Alistar being taken out by the Ezreal. Nyla looking to try to run away. We're seeing an Ornn come out, landing onto the Nyla getting hit by Ezreal QWE, and there's Zeri just coming in, snatching away the kill.
yeah, Zeri said that one's mine. We're creating a gold lead.
Pre-ordered that
bot
one.
lane.
I mean, despite the winning team fights and the objectives still on the side of Braum Lives Matter, the NLE's still ahead in gold.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing the impact of the CS tool.
Yeah.
Being able to optimize your clear speed and being able to last hit your minions in waves will have a massive impact. Because when you look at the side of these fights, we're seeing
Ornn
NLE is
trying to get past this team. CC bots can't really find himself away from it, and stunned out, and gray screen. There's nothing they can really do. Zyro coming back out, and Nyla getting caught out as well. I mean, Zeri finding herself caught out, walking the wrong way for the rest of their team. It is just a outcropping of caught outs. I don't know what else to say.
you are completely flabbergasted by the fact that this Kha'Zix is just jumping around the map. Somebody's ought to swat that bug. I'm saying, you got to deal with the with the assassin threat. You need to make sure you have vision around the map because with as squishy of a team as that you have, you need to know where Kha'Zix is at all times if you're ever going to fight or look for picks like that. Because Kha'Zix is a massive issue for that team.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't afford to get caught out like that in general. I mean, Ornn in the bot lane finding himself caught out, and so the Nyla walking into red side jungle while it's super dark, and then NLE finding an answer to their Ornn getting caught out, ends up getting caught out themselves by walking the wrong way, having to lose the flash and a Zeri death as well on top of that. So NLE hopefully looking to try to clean up these small mistakes, but Braum Lives Matter being able to punish them. And Zerial coming out to stop the Kha'Zix from continuing the rest of the kill. And
yeah, I think cooking the Kha'Zix is really important because you really don't want them here in any fights. I was talking about it before with with the amount of squishies that you have on your team.
Alistar knockup comes out. The Nyla ult misses the Ezreal flash coming from the Nyla, taking a lot of poke damage. Able to dash in and out, and especially with the blocking the Zyra, finding herself getting jumped on by the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix claiming the kill on the Zyra. This looking like, as he may burn away, Gromp finishing off the kill. Alistar coming out to knock away the thing, and we got a fight in the bot lane as well. Knockups coming out from the Ornn and the Shen, as it seems like the Alistar has found his way out of that successfully without a worry. It looks like the Anivia was able to rotate over, get stuns, and move out. And another jungle for jungler trade, and nobody can seem to claim this Baron in time. Ornn taking his turret shots.
This
As
Ornn
usual.
loves these turret shots. If there was a leaderboard for turret shots, this Ornn
Flash coming out. There's another turret shot.
would be the
And
leader of
Shen-
that category.
yeah. Ornn flashing in.
Yeah, I think this Ornn needs to do one of two things. Either we need to see better vision play from the Ornn, or we need to see, we need to see them, resetting a little bit sooner. Because right
Yeah.
now they're just shoving waves and getting caught out. And,
Um,
I've been yelled at this personally.
yeah. And just like that, third dragon on the side of Run Lives Matter, and simple as that.
And the gold lead is starting to get even again. We're actually seeing a 400 gold lead from the side of Braum Lives Matter, which for a team that is 4 kills up, you would think it would be higher, but the impact again of the the invading of the jungle, the stealing of the gold.
Yeah, I mean, as Ornn continues his split pushing journeys, he's definitely looking to try to get these ornaments online as quick as possible.
We're already seeing them come out. We have an ornament on Ornn. I think this is when we are going to start seeing the team fights start to swap again. I want to see NLE focus out Kazakhs. I want them to stop trying to fight like an even 5v5. I want them to you know start looking for these picks, start looking for this damage on Kazakhs and Kazakhs alone.
Yeah, I mean, with the gold only being on the Kazakhs and Nyla, all you got to do is take them out, and all of a sudden, fight's won. I mean, it's easier said than done. I mean, you don't have a accessible fly swatter on the side of NLE, and Ornn looking to make his way into the Nyla. As Zyra getting hit by in the back, and another Ornn overextension seems to take away the NLE's life. I mean, Zyra falling to the Kazakhs. TP's coming in. Ezreal coming out, connecting with 3. Another Clank getting hit. 2 more Clanks to try to take out. And Ornn moving up, leaving his backline behind once more. Shen maybe looking for a taunt onto the backline. Ornn getting collapsed on by 5 members, being alone. The Unstoppable comes out, looking to try to find something, but there's nothing that can be done. Ezreal eating out, finding himself away, taking damage from the Q, getting stunned up from the Anivia. And
this is exactly what I was talking about with the vision. Needing to know where Kha'Zix is at all times, because if we don't have the vision there, we cannot be there to contest Kha'Zix.
that ult coming up, stopping the Baron take as Kha'Zix's health barely surviving on 1 attack as Nyla almost killed his own teammate. And these are where the overextensions from the top side of NLE gets a little bit dicey to work with, because then the bot lane is being left out into the dust, or you're going to get collapsed on by the entire team.
We see a Zyra ornament going out first, and with the Zyra ornament coming out, we're going to see her ults and her slows and her burns just have that much more of an impact. Which, I mean, they're already doing a massive amount of work on the melees.
Yeah, with the changes to the ornaments, you see that it's now giving 1,000 gold worth of base stats for those who don't read patch notes and nerd out about this game as I do. It's a lot of AP given onto the 1,000 gold. You think about 1,000 gold of AP is quite a lot of AP. Ornn finding himself in the sideline once more. Kazakhs top side with the Ornn trying to bring himself back. The Clank taking all of the health. The taunt coming out from the Ornn, stopping the R2 from coming out. Ornn looking to try and claim the Kazakhs' life, not being able to find the grass procs coming out. Ornn still being alive. Kazakhs looking to maybe be a little scary. And the Q comes out from the Ornn. Ornn once again finding himself dead. Less than 20 feet away from a tier 2, not being able to get anything from it. And unlike last game, there's nothing on the map for NLE to take. And from this side of things, doesn't seem like the Ornn deaths are being put towards anything at all.
Yeah, so we're seeing the expense of going for the Bowson playstyle of if you aren't doing the exact style of forcing pressure when there needs to be pressure, you are now forcing 4v5s for your team. So you have to be extremely calculated on when exactly you're going for these style of plays, and when you're not doing that, you're forcing your team to be in bad positions for these dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, they were able to force them out and are able to fight this dragon right now. But it looks like Kha'Zix is looking for a flank angle. Did we lose Kitten? All right, sounds good. So, oh, my thing crashed. Oh, we're seeing a team fight come out. We are seeing Ornn get chunked half HP with the ult, the Zyra ult coming out. We're seeing Q come in. We're seeing Zeri W go out. Ezreal W going in for an Ezreal Q. Kha'Zix looking for a flank on the Zyra. Zeri is half HP, looking for an angle so that they can use their ultimate better, but they are not able to find it. It looks like we are going to be seeing Red Side look for the Baron. They have 4 people going around. They have a pick onto the Renata. Right now we are seeing them try to poke out the team comp, and Zeri W Ornn going in. Ornn is at a 3rd HP. Kha'Zix is going in. He's a half HP. We're seeing the Baron go down. Baron is taken. Braum Lives Matter might be able to pull this game out, forcing this into a game 3 scenario. I thought with the ornaments coming out that we would see more of a flip to the game, but the team fights are still going over to the side of Braum Lives Matter with the 9-4-3 Nyla and the 8-3-3 Kha'Zix really being able to pull this game out so far. We are seeing a 4,000 gold lead go over to the side of Braum Lives Matter, and yeah, I mean, they're clearing vision and everything, and they're doing everything the best for the most part. But I think the Ornn and the Renata getting caught out a lot of this game is really costing the side of NLE. And Ornn, again, is just getting caught out by the Alistar and the Nyla. We're seeing another ornament come out. We saw one go out to Zeri, and hopefully we'll be seeing one go out to Ezreal here soon. We see Anivia taking tier 2 tower on the top side. Ornn looking for an ult. Ornn getting stopped on his ult by Alistar. Very good play from the side of Alistar, and completely stops the engage from the side of...
Like that, Kitten is back. Big storm rolled in, took out my internet. But been watching the rest of the game, and it seems like my game has fully cut out now. So.
Ornn's still looking for an engage. We see Shen ult coming in. We see a TP coming in from the side of Renata ult coming in, really chunking out the Alistar.
Nyla with the 3-man ult. Nyla getting the auto attack. Zeri still free hitting onto the side of Kha'Zix, diving in under the turret. Zeri looking to try to live Zyra with no mana, can't seem to continue but Braum Lives Matter continuing to build their lead over and over and maybe look for an end. My brain. Yeah.
Yeah, we see a 2 for 3 come out, and Zeri really just trying to hold on to this game. But we're seeing a 6K gold lead in over the side of Brown Lives Matter, and the the picks just getting ahead. The Kazakhs and the Nyla just being so strong is forcing their team to have to react to everything that they're ever trying to do. Uh, we still haven't seen an ornament come out to Ezreal yet, and the Ornn getting picked out a lot, and the Renata getting picked out just as much, is really hurting the side of NLE Valkyries.
Yeah, I mean, when you get picked out so much, and then we're seeing it right here, Zara walking up too far, and the Nyla healing come out. It just seems like Braum Lives just has an unstoppable set of chess pieces for the match, and Zeri finding herself way too far pushed up, falling again to the Nyla. Nyla 13-5. And Braum Lives looks like they're going to end this game, and we're going to see ourselves go to a game 3.
Yeah, I think with the end of this game, I think a couple things that they need to talk about outside of this game is overextending and vision, because it is definitely 100% cost, well, the complete cost of this game.
And just like that, Braum Lives claiming game 2 has been broken. And yeah, Braum Lives Matter coming out with a game to try to fight back with, to be honest with you. It's nice to see. Especially when I predicted a very quick 2-0.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I had a couple of question marks uh concerning the draft, but they were able to execute, and they were able to find good flank angles with the Kazakhs, and the Nyla ended up working out because of them able to push the lead in the mid lane.
I'm relaunching the league. But yeah, you're completely right about that. Just a lot of the overextensions on the side of NLE just ended up costing them that game. And I mean, just really in the end, just turned into a pretty simple game from BLM.
Yeah, I think with us going into a game 3, um there's a couple of things that that worry me about both sides. Um, I, we already discussed the vision and the getting caught out, but one thing that we haven't discussed is on the side of Braum Lives Matter, um, their inability to deal with the split push and their linear play style is a couple things to bring up to concern. A couple things that the coaches could work out. Out, just trying to differ up the draft a little bit, maybe force them to play a certain style of way, or force another way of let's lean into our issues and make them our strengths, of we're going to play this way, and we're going to keep playing this way until you find a way to stop it.
Yeah, and it really comes down to, I mean, a note of concern from the side of that Braum Lives could try and take advantage of is taking advantage of this top side. I mean, obvious weakness on the side of NLE. And we can definitely see it turn into a further and further thing that Braum can Braum Lives Matters can take advantage of. And when it comes down to draft, I mean, what are you expecting from these two teams?
I think we're gonna see NLE revert back to game one. I think we're going to see a strong split pushing champion come out um uh from the side of NLE, and I think we're gonna see a couple of band changes as well. I think we are going to see probably more of an assassin style champion receiving a ban. Um, Possibly the Kazakhs, or maybe even something like a Rengar or something like that to match to get rid of that assassin style gameplay in the jungle, because they were really struggling on getting flanked by Kazakhs.
Yeah, and just sort of look into the style these players are playing. I mean, top sides looking to keep this split pushing facade up as long as possible, or not being the champion that can really do it. Probably going to look into trying to find that Scion, that Alawi, that Trundle, the champions that can do it pretty easily. Maybe a Nasus we could see come be played out. And then NLE mid laner looking to try to find um, what's it called? Maybe another global ultimate champion. That's Talia, TF, even a Rise. Um, but they also have to maybe throw a ban out for this Nyla. Nyla being a huge problem last game, especially a lot of AoE healing, a lot of AoE damage, and a lot of AoE stun. Um, so hopefully looking to see some changes in the draft from both sides of these both teams.
It looks like we're seeing a little bit of Braum Lives Matter fandom in the Twitch chat. So, make sure if you guys are here, show some love for your teams. You know, say who you're rooting for. Let's show some love in the community. We gotta have some happiness, some spirit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, um,
We want
it's
you guys
all
to be excited.
it's all fun. It's all about fun. And in the end, it really just we're all here for fun. We're all here for each other. Love each other. Simple as that. You know.
Well, I mean, you might be here for fun. I'm here for the money. No. Massive
Today,
predictions from Polywow44 in the chat, though. Being able to, saying that NLE wins this 24-minute game mid carries. What are your thoughts on chat saying that?
I personally don't know enough about these players to know how they play in a carry situation. Um, I mean,
I
but hey, anybody gets ahead 5-0 in a lane, they should be able to win a game themselves. Simple as that. Coming from mid laner to mid laner, you're 5-0, you better win.
you know, Coming from a lot of comp experience myself, I will say below diamond, I don't think we will. It is very, very, very rare to see a game end before 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, lower ranked games can find themselves ending a lot quicker than usual. Just because of how volatile they can be. Some champions that shouldn't be getting fed can end up getting fed, and that can continue to grow and grow and grow into more of a problem.
I always say that higher ranked games are like a pendulum. They, you give and take, and eventually what will end up happening is that the game will swing in one direction or the other due to one or two team fights. In
Oh
low
yeah,
elo, what will happen is there will just be fights constantly. Everyone's hitting everyone, everyone's going for this, that, and the other thing. And because of that, we get way more interesting gameplay. But also because of that, we get games that you know end at you know end at 40 minutes because teams aren't looking for towers, they aren't looking for anything like that. They are just
Looks like we are hopping in a draft. The Leona band coming out from Braum Lives Matter. Definitely not looking to continue to pick that champion after their first game with it. Shen ban coming out from NLE. It looks like Shen has finally drew itself a ban, and last game being Shen's first win in the LXC this year. Welcome to the podium, Shen. But we're seeing Fiddlesticks Talia ban from the side of Braum Lives. Definitely don't like that global ult on the side of NLE, and the Kazakhs being enough of a problem to enact a ban, and Braum Lives immediately picking the Kennen for their top side.
yeah. So with the draft coming out, we see Kennen because they didn't get rid of Kennen this time, and we see the Jinx Alistar come out again. Any Do we have any predictions for what we're gonna see after the Kennen pick? Obviously they were worried about the AP AoE earlier. Maybe they decided since he was playing Shen and Shen only that giving up the Kennen might not be something that they would be as comfortable after playing Shen 2 games in a row, considering they have two completely different playstyles.
I mean, you see the Alistar, you could always end up running Renata, Thresh being the pick into it. Um, the Nyla making its appearance in its second game after being such a problem in the last game and no ban being thrown into it. Oh, sorry. Nyla's gonna be picked up, and if Nyla gets ahead as she did in the last game, you can definitely find yourself having a much bigger problem in on the side of NLE. And we're gonna see the York again, another heavy split pushing champion coming from the side of NLE, looking to continue their game plan of running it down top laner but win everywhere else.
Yeah. So, we're seeing the Kennen versus the Yorick matchup. The Yorick is just kind of looking to split push, kind of just looking to play safe until they get level 6. Um, and with the level 6 coming, um, it, they are able to put a little bit more pressure, especially with the E poke. I would love to see so what's I would love to see either like an Airy or a Comet come from the Yorick. So they could get a little bit more poke.
Yeah, we're
'Cause
seeing a
with that,
Cinder come out from the side of NLE. I want to see an Aurora. BLM. Aurora. It would be really good. You should click it. Um, we're seeing the Nocturne come out from BLM. And it's looking to finalize the rest of their draft. Looking to be a very high all in, all in, all in draft. Maybe looking to continue with that. Maybe a probably could see a Nico.
I do like the Nocturne to get rid of the vision on the Nyla and the Kennen.
We see Galio maybe coming out. Yeah, being able to just click that ultimate when the Nocturne goes in. I guarantees hit one.
I wonder what
BLM.
they what what do you think would be a good response here in the jungle for the side of NLE?
Um,
Um,
Probably something that can disengage very hard. Something that is able to push away champions. Shaco not being that type of champion, but also being a very in and out one shot champion. But the answer to an all in team is a disengaged team, or a team that can play front to back very well.
I think the pick that I would have gone if I was jungling for NLE into this team, I was thinking Xin Zhao. And the reason why I was saying Xin Zhao is because partially because of what you were saying, the disengage of Xin Zhao's ultimate, being able to force the Nocturne out of the team fight force the Galio away, force the Nilo away. But also, they are a very squishy team. So being able to rush like an Eclipse Cleaver is going to absolutely pop every member of that team.
Yeah, it's very true. York could be a very strong champion in this game. But
Yep.
the all-in effect from BLM to be able to clean up a team fight in probably just a couple seconds is a very dangerous thing for NLE to deal with. And honestly, looking at BLM in a way they played last game, BLM looking like they might just take the series here. I like their draft a whole lot more. It seems to fit together a lot better than the NLE draft tries to, and definitely can play to their strengths on their side of things, and ultimately could probably take this game.
You know, I was really liking the NLE draft until I saw the Shaco pick. The Shaco pick is what really made me start to question their, the thought process. But I've been proven wrong time and time again. So I would love to see, you know, how the Shaco is going to interact with the game. If we're going to see an AD or an AP Shaco, usually in the competitive play, it's usually only AP because you want to, get your traps up and be able to zone um for play. But with how squishy the team is, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe like an AD crit style of gameplay from Shaco.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more expecting the Shaco to actually go the AP side of things, with NLE being a very AD sided team. We might see an AP Shaco come in. I mean, AP items being the strongest items in the game, I think it fits him rather more than the AD build does. But with, I mean, again, still with the set of BLM being able to go all in, even they could find with this Galio pick rounding off their comp, they can disengage just as easily as they went in as well. Truthfully, nothing should be able to touch this Nyla, especially with the Nyla stopping all auto attacks towards her, and then same thing with the Galio. Galio being able to redirect all auto attacks to him. Nyla should be able to be untouched. I do dabble with a little bit of Galio. Galio is probably my second most champ played in this season so far.
Hmm.
I believe this champion is so unbelievably strong. All he has to do is go Unending Despair into Riftmaker, and then he wins lane. And then you just build AP throughout the entire game, and all of a sudden he's one-shotting your tank. This champion's not balanced, which is quite funny to think about. But with that, we're going to head to break. Your predictions are up. Go ahead, gamble your savings away. I know I have lost all of mine, and we will see you when the game starts.
Addicted to you. Visions Visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I'm off in my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I'm off in my face.
To the series finale for tonight's stream. BLM coming back with a game completely different than their first game, obviously. Looking to repeat that to maybe take the series, and NLE looking to avoid the 2-1 after winning game 1.
They don't want to get reverse sweeped, even though it's only a best of 3. You know, you want to come back with a strong performance to prove that your win in game 1 wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you see both junglers opting to stay in their jungler? So we're seeing a 4 stag. You know, we're seeing a
Lots to
4 point.
lots to prove and lots to play for both of these teams
We see
trying
a
to play.
ward in this bottom bush to try to spot out this red side to see maybe if they can get something off of it. Alistar moving into the ward obviously would be spotted out. Bot side of BLM being able to see Chicken Galio, love to see it. Alistar not knowing that he's on a ward, but leaving the bush anyway. What would you like to see BLM continue to do to clears of the series?
I want to see BLM play through this Nyla again. I think that the Nyla has a lot more agency this game than I thought it did last game. And you know, being able to, get onto the team, with the Shaco and the Jinx. I think it will be slightly difficult because of the Syndra, but I think playing through the Nyla will be their best bet.
Yeah, I mean, as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder for this NLE to be able to kill this Nyla. NLE finding themselves on comfort picks. I didn't spot it out, but production did. Shaco mastery points through the roof. No idea. Um, found his one
He
trade.
does play a lot of
We see a
Shaco.
gank coming out, and we see a flash coming out from New York.
Not having Flash early as Yorick is really punishing for him because he's trying to get up and push the wave as fast as possible, trying to get to that level 6 power spike as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, and I got gank Alistar coming in with a gank in the mid lane, looking to hopefully set this Galio behind. Galio looking to just walk it off, and he does. No summoner spell spent. Hook lands on top of the Jinx. The barrier flash comes out, not connecting with any of the abilities, but that's 2 summoner spells away from the Jinx this early on as well. All 4 summoner spells still on the bot lane of BLM. Shaco, Alistar looking to wrap around, maybe might be spotted, but Nyla and Thresh not seeing it happen. Shaco trap being split off, looking to find the lantern and finds it. The ward doesn't get on the lantern in enough. Thresh spotting out the trap, and no summoner spells spent on the side of BLM for that gank.
Yeah, I mean, Shaco not getting an early gank off really is setting a Shaco far behind. When you're playing a champion like Shaco, you're trying to play for that early lead, that early pressure. That's why it's considered by much of the community to be a good cheese pick. And not having that is just really going to hurt the Shaco in the long run. Hopefully
Yeah.
we will be able to see the Shaco be able to recover from this, but we are seeing a 200 gold lead over to the side of NLE again because of the CS differences in the lanes and being able to force the
Alistar
early
finding
leads like
himself
they have
stunned
now.
up, fleeing. Nyla getting the auto attacks off. Flash coming out from the Alistar, and that is now both flash stuns coming out from the side of NLE. I
We
believe.
we we see all summoners gone in the bot lane and all summoners up in the bot lane
We're seeing a
for the
Shaco
side of
gank.
Braum.
Sidra flashing out. Auto attacks getting hit. Looking to maybe flash forward. Gonna connect. First blood to Galio. Galio running away from the Shaco. Shaco getting knocked up by the E, but Galio being able to walk her right off. Shaco not having the damage that he unnormally would at another 5-10 minutes of the game. Trying to get that wave shoved out. Shaco looking to find his way into a crab. And first blood over the Galio. That could mean disaster for a Syndra. Galio into a mage is already hard enough, but a Galio that is ahead, almost impossible.
Yeah, I mean seeing Galio be able to get that early flash kill, I loved seeing that, knowing that Shaco didn't have the damage to continue to follow up.
Alistar moving up to the Grubs, looking to secure all 3 of those, which NLE finds them to do. I believe NLE has claimed all the Grubs in each one of the games. There's been, I think it's 15 Grubs now.
I believe so as well. With they like to rotate for the top side. That's something that we've clearly seen them try to do. With they're also trying to gank top side as well. We
Flash
saw
smoke comes out, connecting onto the Jinx. Jinx popping her barrier, the slow coming from the exhaust coming out, setting up 2, the taunt just barely hitting her, and she's going to fall. Alistar knocking the Galio back into turret. Galio taking the turret shot, just walks it off without a problem, and just like that, Galio able to find his second kill, taking out the Jinx under her own turret.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough on, obviously we see, the death going to Jinx, and her missing that wave. That's obviously very unfortunate, but it's going to be even worse for the Syndra now having to deal with such a solid tank in Galio.
Yorick finding himself claiming 2 plates while alone. The knockaway stops the Nyla ult from going through. Both sides low on mana, not really able to find that Alistar. The huge disengage. Shaco looking to maybe find himself a kill for himself. The flash coming out, and Thresh attempting to walk it off. Alistar waiting for his next set of spells, but just like that, Thresh and Nyla able to walk off the gank once again, only losing one summoner spell, the flash on the side of Nyla.
Yeah, I mean, we are starting to see a little bit of that pressure from the Yorick that we were talking about at the beginning of the game.
As you say that, the ults come in, stunned up, and the pressure from the Yorick as just jinxing it completely, caster cursing, gone.
Well,
But
because
on
of
the
that
side
pressure,
of-
they are losing the dragon, and we saw what happened when they got rid of the objectives in the first game. Is we saw the gold lead go to them at the beginning of the game, and because of that style of play, we ended up seeing
Galio looking to try to get a kill for himself, able to E away, hopefully try to find himself away from this. The Q coming out, and Shaco taking the kill. And you're right. I mean, with all the Yorick absorbing every bit of pressure in the game, we could see the same type of game coming out from NLE, where they're able to just claim every objective for topside dying 20 times over. But we also could see the same thing happen, but now we have a better pick into that split pusher.
absolutely. I think Kennen being able to play a little bit safer is a much stronger pick and a much, you know, a much safer pick. Someone who isn't going to be getting picked out into the side lane or getting, constantly hit because Kennen can just play, out of Yorick's range.
Yeah.
Kennen is having a bit of trouble dodging the E though from Yorick, so Yorick is able to get a little bit of poke off. We did see the comet like I was hoping to see from the Yorick, so that's going to help Yorick in the long run. Being able to poke Kennen out of lane because Kennen doesn't really build a ton of HP.
Yeah. With that, York's going to keep trying to get his pressure. I mean, we all know how the E is. It's hard to hit, or not hard to hit. It's hard to dodge. Can come out so quick, and sometimes you just got to keep moving. Alistar, once again, moving up for the grubs, as Thresh is also up here as well. Yeah, and we see the Nyla ult coming out, connecting to the Jinx, as NLE looks to find themselves back together. The hook landing on the Yorick. I'm going to completely ignore what happened with the Kennen. The ult coming out from the Galio and the Nocturne connecting as well, as Yorick finds himself dipping away in health. Exhaust comes out. The auto attacks come out. Thresh ticking away from the burn. The stun landing from the Alistar, the stun landing onto the Galio as well. Maybe the taunt can land to try to claim the life of the Alistar. Alistar falls to the Kennen as well. Shaco behind, trying to look for that Nocturne. Nocturne not in a bush.
Very, very unfortunate play to happen there on for Nocturne. I mean, looking for the reset, you walk into a bush, it happens to the best of us. It hurts to see, but
yeah, that was a fight of all time. Both sides claiming the lives of 2, going even. One side maybe looking to try to grab gloves. Kennen getting absolutely tricked by the Shaco clone.
we're
Alistar
seeing
finds a way back in the
we're
fight.
seeing the pink ward strategies coming out from Shaco.
Hordes being spot out. And we see the blue side above the wall is being lit up like a lantern fest. As Shaco starts the grubs up a little bit, taking out his vision. Nautilus walking to every single Shaco trap known to man. Nautilus getting caught, stuck alone, fleeing, stuck in turrets. Galio coming in, taking out the Shaco, stopping maybe what could be anything else. Again, not being able to take damage from... He's not taking much damage from the Syndra, so he should be able to actually turn this into his favor. Syndra taking a lot of damage from the Scrubs, could find herself falling to that. Galio looking to maybe try to find something, and Galio stopping the Grubs from being acquired once more. And just like that, Galio being a huge tool. Again, not taking any AP damage from neither the Shaco nor the Syndra, and just like I said, he's finishing up those mercs probably on his next back, and he's finished the Unending Despair. Once he builds his AP items, he's going to be the lead factor, and taking a turret shot, getting feared up from the Nocturne R, and just like that, Yorick falls as well.
Are you sure it wasn't a Nautilus ultimate?
Yeah, I almost said Nautilus. It's my brain starts, and again, Galio getting tickled by the Shaco.
Yeah, the ability to rush the Hollow Radiance so early into the game because of the massive amount of pressure that they've been able to provide on the map is proving
The
just so
ultimate
massively
okay.
impactful because they're not taking any damage in any of these fights.
The Shaco Q landing onto the Nocturne, taking out the Nocturne. Maybe they can finally look to get the grubs. And no, they actually despawn. And BLM have found a way to stall out the grubs long enough for Herald to spawn.
Yeah, so we finally don't see all of the grubs going over to the side of NLE. Now they didn't go to anyone else, but
But the perfect sweep is done. Can't do it anymore. Jaco popping ult once more. Thresh getting hit by the turret. Shaco being an absolute annoyance. Missing the hook. Getting stunned up by the Alistar and the Syndra. The Syndra ult coming out. The exhaust. The Nilo connecting onto the... Dashing into the traps. Connected to the Alistar. The auto's coming out. Ults are being popped on the top side. Kendon's health is dripping. Galio not taking too much damage. Looking to try to claim the life of one. Not being able to, but walking away. Kennen being able to escape his confines of his punishment as well. And just like that, it's just the Nyla who fell. Turret shots coming out. Galio with
somebody spoke a little too soon. Speaking of Caster's curse.
It is misstep. I can't even say it's somebody outplaying the other. It's just misstep after misstep after misstep. And with Yorick getting this Herald, he's looking to claim a tier 2 for himself. And he might be able to continue pushing it on.
Yeah, we're seeing a very similar style to what they were playing in game 1 from NLE. At 15 minutes, Yorick is 0-4.
Nocturnal coming out, Galio there, and Kennen claiming another health. The Nocturnal on top of the Syndra. Not finding the rest of the damage. The stun's coming out. Nocturne getting the Q, taking 2 turret shots, but taking the kill. And for once, we don't see somebody die to a tower. Nocturne being able to get his kill. And that is a 2 for 0 on the side of BLM.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of overextensions and everything from both teams now in this game. And, with that being such a massive factor into this game,
I'm sorry to go off of that, but never mind. They chose not to fight. Continue your thought.
But with that being such a massive factor in this game, having a pick such as this, this Yorick, it's going to absolutely abuse, that style of gameplay because as you're overextending, and if you get picked out, Yorick is just running to the opposite tower. He he sees you overextended in the top lane or in the bot lane or in the mid lane, and he's just TPing forward.
We see BLM clearing out wards, Galio sacrificing a wave in order to do so. But maybe
I
looking
do
for the
like the fact
overextension
that we're
from the
seeing the
Syndra.
rotations from the Alistar so that the Jinx can stay, up in levels with the Nyla.
Yeah. Now that causes the Alistar to fall back behind a little bit, but in the end, it's a support. Doesn't really matter past 6. Stun coming up from the Galio. Galio soaking up the damage, eating the Cinder Qs like boba balls. And it is just a yummy snack for him. We're seeing 2 ults coming out, Nocturne R and the Kennen R, as the Yorick finds himself ticking away. One more Q landing. And just like that, being able to take off the Yorick on the side map. Looks like NLE is going to answer with a tier 1 of themselves. And once again, like the first game, you got to send 2 to take out top side, and then you lose something for it. The stuns are coming out. Maybe the fear, the stun, the hook onto the Syndra, landing onto the flash coming out. Looking to try to maybe save that play. Nothing really happening. Nyla and Kennen pushing up that side wave. Ping's coming out for the Kennen. Could look for a play. Kennen might find himself overstaying a little bit longer than he really needs to. The TP coming out could be stopped, and it is stopped. The Shaco finding a way, trying to fear the Hextech Proto Belt comes out, as well as the speed up from the Kennen, and Kennen finds himself walking away. It's just a TP for that, no life taken.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, losing that TP is a bit of an issue, considering that now he has to match the Yorick, and he will not be coming to a team fight.
yeah. We see Baron about to pop up. We'll see if either team would feel like posturing towards it at this early part of the game. You never know with the fighting that's been happening.
Do you think
Very even game.
Do you think now, since Kennen doesn't have TP, that they should send Galio to match Yorick?
Galio with a lot of built up magic resist would probably be a little harder to match with. Galio should be following around, keeping tabs on the Syndra, should be keeping tabs on the Shaco. In the end, lane assignments are fine. Nobody in the top part is a little weird, but again, with each side trying to find their way. Nyla finding herself caught up from the... it's caught out as a wrong word. Somebody call an ambulance, but not for me. Maybe we find our way in the flash forward queue. Nyla getting stuck on something. Maybe the Proto Belt completely missing, but the stun landing on Yorick falls, so does the Nyla, but that is 2 ults for a Yorick. The double stun coming out, landing onto the Thresh and the Galio. The Alistar stun coming in. The taunt landing on 2. The Nocturne R coming in with the Galio R landing on, hitting all 4 people on the side of NLE. And BLM looking to find this fight. Jinx falls. Syndra just barely alive. Alistar getting ready to fall. And just like that, BLM find themselves claiming a dragon of themselves and a very easy 4-for-0 team fight. Or 3-for-0 team fight. Might as well have been 4-for-0 for how low that Syndra was. And BLM answering with haymakers of their own.
Yeah, the Alistar really tried to get the Galio out of the team fight, but it was too little too late with the ultimate of Nocturne and the ultimate of Galio already coming in. Shaco tricks all of them with...
But not able to find fruition. Syndra finding one in the meantime. Alistar stun coming out. Nyla just about to get her ultimate again. Galio ticking away, maybe trying to find all through with the taunt, looking to maybe answer for one of his own, but getting stunned up, getting auto-attacked, can't really find one. Jinx finding a kill of her own.
At least they're able to get a couple of those kills back. So now, after, a 3-minute fight, we get a 3-for-3.
And we're seeing a rotation up to Baron. And this Nocturne being dead, this should just be free.
Yeah, we're seeing about almost a 2,000 gold lead for this side I
The Nyla connecting with 2, taking out the Jinx and the Syndra at once. The Baron being secured on the side of NLE, but at this point, I don't believe there's going to be anybody alive to really hold on to the Baron. I mean, Shaco and Nocturne being able to hold it to themselves. Shaco getting over the wall, doing Shaco things. Alistar being able to recall it. Just Shaco and Alistar with Barons. I mean, just as NLE is able to make a play of their own, BLM, I mean, Stoic on this Nyla has been unparalleled to anything. He's saving this game every step of the way. This series, it is his series.
Yeah, see, before we saw in game 1 of this series, we saw that the jungler was getting a lot of the kills onto Alawi. But this time we're seeing the Kennen with the kills.
Nautilus,
And
or the not Nautilus, Nocturne getting caught out. Thresh as well as the same, and it's gonna be a double kill on the side of Jinx.
and we're talking about the lead that Nyla had, and although it is still there, we saw like a 4,000 gold lead just get chopped down to like a 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, as the name of the game, a lot of overextensions, a lot of getting caught out. Alistar finding the knockup onto the Nyla behind the turret. Jinx autoing the turret. Nyla maybe looking to find an angle with her ultimate here with the Galio. Could see something happen here. Cannon ult is up. Galio, he misses, but the taunt comes out as Alistar slowly drifting away. And, I mean, Shaco boxes are buying time, but how much longer? And we can see the Yorick pushing the top side. I mean, now the whole team's moving towards it. Oh, I got the hiccups. We see the stun coming out onto the Yorick as well. Yorick trying to find a kill, maybe not really finding one. The Galio coming in, connecting with 2. And just like that, it is another just complete almost wipe for the side of BLM. BLM looking to find the Alistar. Alistar being claimed, Shaco being the only one alive in the bot side of the map. And BLM, their overextensions may be just for 1 or 2 people, but they find their ways to take out the entire team. Their team fight is just so much stronger, looking to claim this tier 2 and hopefully move on to crack the base.
Yeah, overextension is the name of the game for this entire series, not even just this game. But I wonder if
Isla burning away. That Jinx rocket almost taking out her health, just barely surviving on 1 Shaco, maybe hunting to find her, but BLM disengaging. TP coming in through bot side from Syndra, maybe to try to clear that team 1. Nocturne, not Nautilus, holy, can maybe try to find an angle with his ultimate. And here he takes that angle. Spell shield comes out. Not much of a stun coming in. The fear is out, and Syndra TPing in only to her death, only to find herself TP'd right back to the fountain.
yeah, everyone is getting caught out alone, and they aren't able to get to these objectives in a proper manner. Pretty much all of these games are all of these kills are derivative of someone getting caught out in a side lane.
Nautilus finding himself trapped, dipping down. The Yorick minions doing a whole bunch. Huge Kennen ult, claiming 3 people. Shaco dipping down. Galio not hitting anything. A lot of Shaco traps to stun, landing onto the Alistar. The Yorick find himself in alone. The Jinx W landing onto the Nyla. Yorick dipping away, trying to find Shaco, finding himself hooked up, TPing back away, getting feared up. Constant traps everywhere. This Jinx just able to continue kiting alone. Syndra finding a shutdown on the cannon, and just like that, it swings right back to the side of NLE.
What a crazy team fight for both sides. I mean, we see the TP come in from the Syndra. Yorick able to just completely take Nocturne out of the fight and then eventually kill him as well. The the team fight is being fought on like 3 different sides because you see York coming in from the back line, then you see Syndra TPing in from the back, and then Shaco setting up boxes for the Jinx and the Alistar. Alistar sacrificing himself for the Jinx, and them able to just go in, trade, back off, go back in, trade, back off, and we kind of saw that just like a recycle in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, with the Galio ult not landing on anything, it was hard for anything to happen. That Galio again being a huge thing in this game. Galio looking to maybe find the Yorick, but can't seem to get it. And with Baron coming up, I'm gonna see what BLM has to do to try to answer NLE once more. I mean, again, game being just as even as it can be. See how both these teams end up trying to fight each other, and we could find ourselves around the end of the game.
We're going to see them engaging in the Shaco boxes again.
Shaco clone walking around. 6v5. Yorick being kept off to the side alone. This could be BLM's time to maybe look for something. Maybe a Nocturne R into the center of their team, into a Galio once more, but
we're seeing scanners and pink wards come out from both teams to really deal with this Shaco. The Shaco is becoming a massive annoyance in these team fights with placing all of their abilities. It looks like they're going to go and try and play for the inhib, giving up the Baron.
They might just try to play for the end. I mean, we might see ourselves as if that lands, that could take out the wave. BLM might be looking end here. The 5-man stun landing from the Syndra, the Yorick having a TP in to stop it. And BLM stunning up, taking out the Syndra, the Yorick falls as well. Jinx getting excited, getting taunted up. Not much happening. Trying to connect to the Jinx. Jinx autoing away. Gonna continue finding it. Kennen. All it takes is one more auto attack. Thresh finding himself about to die. Not much he can really do. Maybe stall more time. BLM being able to take out 2 and stopping Baron, but at the cost of their entire team. Which it seems like NLEs might just take Baron anyway.
The game looks like it's going back to even now in gold with we're seeing 54.5 for both sides, and you were absolutely right. They're going just straight back to Baron. With the death timers being so long now, considering the game is at 30 minutes, it is extremely difficult for one team to get wiped like that, and then try and contest any sort of objective.
Yeah, exactly. And with the gold lead swinging onto the side of NLE once more, the Baron as well as on their side. See what's in store. I mean, at this point, I can't tell you who's going to win and who's going to lose. It's just a constant pendulum back and forth on things like that.
I think we're about to see Yorick get... Oh no, Yorick is resetting. He is not overextending. We would like to applaud
improvement
them for learning from their mistakes. We applaud learning in the LXC. We're seeing all this setup from the objectives, and Shaco's placing his traps preemptively. I like the fact that he did go the AP Shaco, like we were talking about out at the beginning of this game. With the Baron, though, I do kind of want to see them pressuring the side lanes. We see Yorick using his ult in the top lane, but he himself is in the bot lane.
Nocturnal coming in, getting stunned up. Galio being able to get his ult off. Just barely living the 3-man taunt, landing onto the stun. And just the synergy of ultimates is just so strong from the side of BLM. Syndra able to claim the Kennen, and just like that, NLE was just able to turn the fight just as easily as BLM was able to start it.
Yeah, they were able
And
to get. They
you
were
see
able
the
to
bottom of
catch
the
up.
map. Maiden is split pushing a turret. Maiden split pushing that in the game.
We're gonna see Galio fall here. Thresh is going to 1v1 Maiden. And again, the game is ending for me.
Thresh is attempting to 1v1 the Maiden. The Thresh is going to lose. Maiden might just end the game.
Maiden has 1v1 Thresh confirmed.
Maiden took out a inhib turret, an inhib, and half of and 3/4 of a Nexus turret. And NLE able to grab, even if it's not Yorick, NLE still being able to capitalize and grab Ocean Soul.
We're we are living in Yorick's world. Yorick is able to split push without Yorick even being there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think we could learn something about this game. I think, Caden, I think both you and I could both use Maidens as loyal as Yorick's.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Alistar stun coming out, not going to matter because he's the tankiest player on the map. NLE just seems to be trying to find their last angle to win a fight. BLM biding their time, can't seem to answer the Jinx or the Yort. See all of BLM rotating over to the Yort.
We're seeing both ults come out.
Yort falls, but NLE is looking to push back through mid, but it looks like they might be able to reconvene before that tower falls.
I feel like we're playing the start of Elden Ring because he's dead and maidenless.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
sometimes things like that, you walk into the beautiful lands between and see the tree sentinel, and all of a sudden you're back at your grace. That's all you're experiencing right now. You come out of the fountain, you see the beautiful Summoner's Rift, head your way to bot lane, and all of a sudden you're back to the fountain.
The only difference is, you know, in Lee we have a gray screen. You know, we need the "you died."
Galio able to stop the Nautilus from being poked out, landing the stun on the Alistar once more. Threshold missing onto the Jinx. Alistar flash queuing, taking out the Nocturne, and
Jinx getting
Nyla finding
excited
this
off of that.
Syndra getting one shot by the Nyla. Jinx finding her. Oh, not the Syndra being one shot. It was the Jinx being one shot. Sorry, they look the same, and Yorick is ending the game. And just like that, NLE taking the series.
Maiden and Yorick for the win.
And
this is just proof that you need maidens to win in League of Legends.
Yeah, and I mean, for the second time on stream, at least for me casting, that is 2 backdoors. NLE closing out the series 2-1. Probably not too happy with the 2-1, even after the first game being as large of a stomp as it was. In the end, NLE is taking the series and continuing their series win streak.
Yeah, I mean, who do you have as MVP for this series?
that's a hard one. Nobody really truly stood out in this series, to be honest. I think it was really the teams winning really depended on how well the team was playing together. The first game was pretty easy to see where all the pressure was going and what was happening, but in game 3, it didn't really seem that way either. I mean, if I had to give it to anyone, it's probably going to be either the Syndra or the Shaco. Being able to land the necessary stuns and CCs. Even the Alistar being a part of it. Truthfully, all 3 of those names could be in contention for MVP. But in game 3, it's kind of hard to really pinpoint who was the best player on this team of NLE. So
I agree with you, it being tough to really pick like an MVP of the entire series. Um, I would love to give it to someone like Stop Cappin, who was very impactful in both of their wins in game 1 and game 3. But I could easily flip the blame as to why we have a game 3 is because of the overextensions of Stop Cappin in game 2. Um, that's the same thing for Toxic as well. I think Toxic played a really good game 1 and 3, but same thing as with Stop Capping before, their roams and ability to you know uh getting caught out because of their roams in game 2 um could be argued to what cost them the game. I think if I had to give a series MVP, I think the person who played the most consistent through all 3 games and was able to help in ways that don't really show as much on the scoreboard and the damage charts was Sirius Oswald because of those rotations and being where they needed to be and not getting caught out as much as the rest of their team.
I mean, yeah, you said it. Everybody hears it. Week 3, NLE taking the series over Braum Lives Matter, and with that, I have nothing else to say. And do you have any last closing remarks?
Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for being here. We love casting these games. Thank you everyone for being with us in this journey of finally being able to cast a 3-game series. Um, we appreciate you all staying here. We know it's a little bit late for some of you East Coast viewers, so we appreciate you all being here, and we appreciate
One
the
East
players,
Coast caster.
and we appreciate the production for staying up and helping us through these troubling times.
Yeah, and with that, I appreciate you guys all for showing up and joining the stream. Hopefully, we catch you tomorrow for our Crusaders matchup, which can probably be found at the website. I do not know it off the top of my head. Thank you all for joining, and
Have a good night, everybody.
I'll see you then.